Family or Fiance owns hit reality show where people have to decide, are they going to remain in a relationship or are they going to choose the family that hates their relationship. Yesterday, guys, I got to attend a great event by OWN, Oprah Winfrey Network, that is. There was cocktails, cupcakes, and conversation. And most importantly, guys, I got to meet a very, very special lady, the great, the wonderful Tracy McMillan, guys. I'm telling you, the conversation was lit. Why don't you guys take some time, stop what you're doing, and listen to just a little bit of what she was talking about at yesterday's event. Once again, guys, Tracy.
You're going to ask me questions and I'm just going to answer them.
These are some of our
It was their idea. It was actually John Murray's idea, and he's the guy who invented the real world, like literally invented the genre. And I got a call one day, and they said, would you like to come in and meet on this show? It's about relationships, and it's about families. And I was like, sure. So I put on a pink dress, drove over, and just sat down and had a conversation about a show that the idea was so good. Immediately on hearing it, I knew it was a great idea, because here you've got couples who want to get married, families who are against it, and what I know as a relationship expert is that so much of the issues that we bring into relationships originate in our families. So here's an opportunity to bring the cause and the effect together in the same house. And as a television writer, I know what a good story is. I just knew that there was just going to be not just great stories, but an opportunity to heal something for each and every one of these couples and these families. The challenges come directly out of whatever the couples and the families are facing. Our work is to give the families and the couples an opportunity to bring to the surface some of these issues that are lying down there just. All right. With the influx of social networks and digital tools available, how should couples balance their digital identity with their relationship? I mean, here's the thing that I don't think we talk about enough when it comes to relationships, and that is that everything can be negotiated. Like, I'm not here to give you rules. What I'm here to say is couples need to have discussions about what they're comfortable with, and then they need to negotiate. Definitely, when a couple first sits down in front of me on day one of the show, I get a vibe from them. What is happening with this couple? And when you see, like, there's like a spectrum of couples. Couples where you're like, oh boy, and then couples where I'm sometimes amazed at these couples. Like, wow, look at them go, you know? Look at them go. So willing to confront themselves. It's almost never about confronting the partner, it's about confronting yourself. And if you can do that, you can probably work with your partner. There have been many difficult moments, but so sometimes what is happening in a couple or a family mirrors my own experience in ways that can be really challenging. There was a couple where they were in love. Her family had problems with him, but it turns out that her family's problems with him were really about unresolved things in her family's relationship to her. So she had been raised by her grandmother, and her mother had given her up. Now, she always knew who her mother was, but she didn't live with her mother. Now, this was very close to my own story. My mother gave me up, and my mother never came back into my life like this woman's mother did, but watching this woman and her mother try to work out that rupture from 25 years ago when she left her daughter in the care of someone else at the age of like 4 was extremely moving for me. I was able to sort of advocate for the daughter, because you can say, it's like when you have a wound somewhere, it's as though when you it's like an elevator door that opens, but there's nothing there. So the daughter could not advocate for herself with the mom any more than she could when she was 4 years old. It would like she'd turn into a 4-year-old. But here I am, I'm an adult, and I'm like, no, I'm holding the mother accountable. No, I want you to just hear what it was like for her. And she wanted an answer. Why did you give me up? And the mother would be like, river dance, tap dancing, to not have to confront that question. But in the three of us, and I shared my own experience, and the three of us, the mother became willing to look into her daughter's eyes and give her the reason. And I'm not going to tell you what happens, but it is one of the most moving moments in the show. We can do a whole show called Boundaries. Friends, is that a boundary is not theirs to do for you, it's yours to hold, okay? So a boundary is, I'm okay with this, I'm not okay with that. You inform people about your boundaries. They ignore them, okay? Or they do whatever they want, or maybe they observe your boundaries. But how consistent are people with observing boundaries? But if you have a boundary, it's yours to keep. You have to maintain the boundary. You can't go, wow, they just keep ignoring my boundary, and then think that it's their job now to make the boundary happen. It's your job. So if somebody's continually crossing your boundary, because a boundary is not a rule, it's not anything the other person does, it's something you're saying about where you are. I think a boundary is controlling the other person and saying what another person can or can't do. That's not what a boundary is. A boundary is like a fence. It doesn't go into the other person's property. It's on the line, you know? And if the fence falls down, it's up to you to put the fence back up. What you need to do on that first thing, see, my take is this. That whole, especially with the abs, it's all a process of elimination. So you're eliminating at the swipe, and this is not to be rude, this is just being real, you know? It's like you're eliminating at the swipe, you're eliminating at the texting. If you do a phone call, you're eliminating at the phone call. And then when you meet them, that's when you get to the point where the relationship used to start. When you met, by the time you did all that, you finally get to the place where relationship used to start. It doesn't take you a whole dinner to figure it out. It takes a 20-minute, you're like, and you know when they turn around. You're like, oh, okay. I think that first one should be short. Now if that works out, it'll go longer. Okay. And if it goes a little longer, then you know, okay, there's another thing. All right, that's when you go. Now I'm also going to suggest that you don't go have a dinner. I'm going to suggest that you go on a walk or a hike or something where you're moving and doing something. It's just a much easier way to get to know somebody without all that pressure of all that eye contact, and because ultimately being a person is what it's about. Because sooner or later they are going to know you as a person. You might as well start at the beginning.
So y'all, I really enjoyed myself, as you can see. You guys be sure you check out Family or Finance only on OWN this Saturday, January 11th. Please check your local TV listings for showtimes, all right? And make sure you guys are checking out Dr. Tracy McMillan. She's amazing. Cut it up.